Welcome students. Our today's lecture is on the Newton's theory as a first approximation. As up till now we saw that from the classical mechanics we generalized the concept of gravitation in a general relativity. Okay, so when we approximate the theory of gravitation is followed by the first approximation of general relativity. So for this we require the two things. The first one is the relation between G44 and the Newtonian gravitational potential V. That is the first thing we require here is a relation between G44 and V, where V is nothing but our Newtonian gravitational potential. And the second thing we require here is that the Poisson equation can be recovered from the field equation of general relativity. So here in the first approximation of Newton theory, we saw two things, that is a relation between G44 and V, and the second one is Poisson equation that can be recovered from the field equation of general relativity. So in this lecture we see first one, that is a relation between G44 and V. Now for this relation, between G44 and V, we assume that our field is weak static field, and we consider the small velocities, that is our field deals with the small velocities. So we assume for the Newton theory of gravitation we have small velocities and weak static field, and thus the space-time of general relativity. So we write here firstly about, as we know that Newton's theory of gravitation deals with small velocities and weak static field. Okay, so as here in the Newton's theory of gravitation, the field deals with the small velocities and a weak static field, and therefore, so in the Newton's theory of gravitation, our field is weak static field, and we assume the velocities are small. So for this we have the space-time, thus the space-time of general relativity. The space-time of general relativity is given by ds square equals to gmn dxm dxn. As we saw this in the implication of the principle of covariance, that the space-time of general relativity is given by ds square equals to gmn dxm dxn. We give this as equation number 1. This space-time of general relativity differs slightly from flat space-time of special relativity. That is, we are taking this space-time of general relativity which differs slightly from flat space-time of special relativity, which is given by ds square is equals to minus dx1 square minus dx2 square minus dx3 square minus dx4 bracket whole square. We give this as equation number 2. Here it is plus dx4 square. As we compare here, that here Gmn, that is G11, is the coefficient of dx1 square, G22, which is the coefficient of dx2 square, which is equals to minus 1. The G33 equals to minus 1, which is the coefficient of this dx3 square, and the coefficient of dx4, its square, is here 1. Okay, so from this we get that hence the Gmn. So if we compare equation 1 and 2, so we have this value of Gmn is approximated to minus 1, and the value of dx4 is G44 is approximated to 1, and all other Gmn, that is metric tensor, are equals to 0 for m not equals to n. Thus we write this as, hence the Gmn of equation 1 can be written as G alpha beta is equals to minus 1, that is we approximate it to minus 1, comma G44 we approximate to 1, and Gmn is equals to 0 when m not equals to n, right? Because we are assuming here G alpha beta means alpha and beta were varying from 1 to 3, right? They are varying from 1 to 3. So we have G11, G22, G33, and so on. So in that case, G11 we approximate to the values of metric tensor in equation 1, that is the metric tensor for general relativity, is approximated to the metric value of the metric tensor for the space-time of special relativity. So we approximate G11, that is G alpha beta equals to minus 1, G22 is equals to minus 1, G33 equals to minus 1, G44, which is approximated here, is a plus sign, so we approximate it to 1, and Gmn equals to 0 whenever m not equals to n, that is G12, G13 all are 0, right? So we approximate it to 0. This is same as, this is in the lower tensor form, so conjugate of that is written as G upper suffix mn, conjugate of that is G upper suffix mn. So G upper suffix alpha beta, which is approximate to minus 1, here it is in the lower suffix G44, G upper suffix 44 is approximated to 1, G upper suffix mn is equals to 0 when m not equals to n. Here alpha comma beta, here alpha comma beta takes the value 1 comma 2 comma 3, and m comma n takes the value 1 2 3 4, that is this Latin suffixes takes the value 1 2 3 4, and this Greek suffixes takes the value 1 comma 2 comma 3. Also our field is a static field, so for the static field and for the small velocities we have, that is the space-time in equation 1 being static, that is we assume the space-time is form a static field. Therefore for static we have Gmn comma 4 equals to this mn comma 4, comma means the partial derivative, so del of Gmn with respect to del x4, that is with respect to the fourth coordinate, the partial derivative is 0. So whenever our space-time is static, then in that case we have the derivatives of partial derivatives of the metric tensor with respect to the fourth coordinate, that is nothing but our time coordinate, is equals to 0. And also for slow moving particle, so for slow moving particles we take x dot 1 is equals to x dot 2 equals to x dot 3. We assume this approximation is equals to 0 and x dot 4 we assume equals to 1, where dot is nothing but dx upon ds. Okay, so dot is nothing but the derivative with respect to ds, and for slow moving particles we always have that the derivative with respect to ds of first coordinate, second coordinate and the third coordinate is approximated to 0, and the fourth coordinate, that is dt by ds, is approximated to 1. Okay, so as we are taking here the Newton's first approximation, hence we are approximating each value, that is gmn we are approximating this derivatives. We give this as equation number 3, and we give this as equation number 4, and we give this as equation number 5. Now from all these equations we calculate the motion of the test particle, that is we substitute all this value in the motion of the test particle and simplify that equation. Okay, so the motion of test particle is given by test particle in general relativity is given by a time like geodesic. That is, we take the equation of geodesic as the equation of the motion of test particle that we have seen in the principle of covariance. Okay, so what is the equation of that? The equation is given by x double dot p plus gamma of p mn x dot m x dot n is equals to 0, right? So this is our the equation of motion of test particle, and now in this equation we substitute the values of equation 5, that is we use the equation 5 here. So using equation 5, what implies this? X dot 1 here, x dot 1 is 0, x dot 2 is 0, x dot 3 is 0. So this term, in this term, for x m equals to 1, m equals to 2, m equals to 3, from this it is equals to 0. So for 1 m equals to 1, 2, 3, this term is 0, and we have only the fourth term. So for this we can substitute m equals to n equals to 4. So we have x double dot p plus gamma of p 4 4 x dot 4 into x dot 4, because from equation 5 1 for x dot 1, x dot 2, x dot 3 are 0, and therefore we have this, and this is equals to 0. Therefore since x dot 4 is approximately equals to 1, so this is the product of 1 into 1 is 1, and therefore we have x double dot p plus gamma of p 4 4 into 1 equals to 0, since x dot 4 equals to 1, right? So we give this as the equation number 6. Now we calculate this, that is we calculate gamma p 4 4 and the value of x double dot p. Now x dot p is equals to what? It is equals to, dot means our derivative with respect to s. So this is nothing but our dxp by ds. And now we write this dxp by ds as dxp upon dx4 upon ds. So this is equals to dxp upon dx4, and dx4 ds is nothing but our x dot 4, and which is equals to 1. So this is equals to dxp upon ds, since x dot 4 is equals to 1. Since x dot 4 equals to 1. Okay, so x dot p is nothing but our, sorry, here it is dx4. So x dot p is nothing but our dxp upon dx4. Similarly, we again take the derivative with respect to s, so we get x double dot p. So what is the derivative with respect to ds? That is x double dot p is nothing but d by ds of dxp upon dx4, which is equals to d by dx4. That is, we are arranging here ds term. So dxp upon dx4, and this dx4 is here. So when we cancel out this term, so it is nothing but d by ds of that. Okay. So we are taking here dx4 as an adjustment. So when this cancelled, we have d upon ds. So again dx4 by ds equals to 1. So which is equals to d2 xp upon dx4 square. Right, dx4 into dx4 is dx4 square. So we have x double dot p is equals to d2 xp by dx4 square, and since x4 is nothing but our c into t, that is our fourth coordinate is nothing but not only the time coordinate, but we multiply this by c. So what is dx4? This implies dx4 is nothing but taking the derivative as c is constant, so it is c into dt. So we substitute the value of dx4 here. So we get d2 xp upon dx4 is nothing but our c into dt square. So which is equals to d2 xp upon c square dt square. Right. So we have x double dot p, the value of this is equals to d square xp upon c square dt square. That is, we write this as x double dot p is equals to 1 upon c square d2 xp upon dt square. This is because of this. Okay. Now we calculate gamma p44 and value of gamma p44, which is equals to, this can be written as gpq in bracket 44 comma q. Okay. So we solve this, the Christoffel symbol of second kind, and we write this as gpq, and to solve this is equals to half in bracket g. So it is, we have to take first the second, that is g4q comma 4 plus g 4q comma 4 minus g 44 comma q. Okay. This is because as we write here mn, since you know about this, that is the Christoffel symbol of mn comma r. The formula for this is 1 upon 2 g. So we take this mn comma r as 1, 2, 3. Okay. So how to remember this formula? We take m as first, second and the third. So we take the first and third as it is. So mr comma n, that is second one, plus g and r comma m minus g mn comma r. That is, we have to remember this formula in the form of first, second and third. So comma, this is second, this is first, this is third. So comma 2, comma 1 minus comma 3, and all remaining symbol are here. If 2 is here, then 1 and 3 are left. If 1 is here, then 2 and 3 are left, and 3 is here, then 1 and 2 are left. So we write this in this form. So to remember this formula, you have to remember in the first, second and third, because m comma n comma r are changed always, like that here. Here it is 4, 4 comma q. So if you write this formula and then write this step, it is going lengthy. So we have directly remember the comma 1, comma 2, comma 1, comma 3. Okay. So remember the formula in this way. So it is more helpful to you. Now from this we have, as we know that our field is static, and thus from the equation 4, right, we give the equation 4 to the static field, that is the partial derivative of the metric tensor with respect to 4, that is fourth coordinate is 0. When the partial derivative with respect to fourth coordinate is 0, then we say that our field is static, and therefore this term and this term is equals to 0, because this is comma 4. Okay, so we have gamma P44 is equals to in the form 1 upon 2 GPQ, and the only last term, that is, we write this minus sign here, G44 comma Q, because all these two terms are equal to 0 by the equation 4, since by equation 4. Now as we have the value of x double dot p and the gamma of p44, we substitute this value in this equation, that is in the equation 6. So our equation 6 implies the value of x double dot p plus gamma of p44. The value of x double dot p is 1 upon c square d2xp by dt square, plus the value of gamma p44 is nothing but our minus 1 upon 2 GPQ G44 comma Q equal to 0. Now we take this minus term to this side, so it is equals to d2xp upon dt square, 1 upon c square is here, equals to 1 upon 2 g upper suffix pq, G44 comma Q. Now this one c square goes to this side, so we have d2xp upon dt square is equals to 1 upon 2 c square is in the multiplication of this c square GPQ G44 comma Q. Now we solve this term, that is GPQ, that is we can vary now P is running from 1 to 3 4, so we vary this P 1 2 3, and also Q is also running from 1 to 3 4. Okay, so we take this equation for 1 2 3 and so on. Now for P equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, so we see firstly for the 1 2 3 and then we see for 4 coordinate. Okay, so for P equals to 1, we have d2 d square x upon dt square, that is dx1 dt square equals to 1 upon 2 c square g1q g44 comma q. Okay, now this is equals to 1 upon 2 c square. Now q is varying from here, p comma q is varying from 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. Now as q is also varying from 1 2 3 4, so as we take, now here if we take q equals to 1, then it is g11. Since here q is dummy suffix, so as we vary q, so here it apply the summation rule. So as we take q equals to 1, so it is g11, and then the plus we have the here the quantity next term we have g12 and the quantity g13. Okay, but g12 g13, that is gmn equals to 0 for m not equals to n, right, as we have given that this. So for this we take the value, the q should be equals to 1. So we have here g11 g44 comma 1, that is this is equals to 1 since gmn equals to 0 when m not equals to n. Therefore we take the value of, therefore q is equals to 1 we are taking here. Okay, so this is equals to g11 g44 comma 1, which is equals to 1 upon 2 c square. Now the value of g11 is approximately equals to minus 1, so we write minus half c square g44 comma 1, because since by equation 3. Okay, so by equation 3 we have g11 equals to minus 1, and we write this g11 as minus 1, g44 comma 1 is, we are not taking the value of that, so d2x1 upon dt square, this is equals to this. And remember here we have to not take that g44 is approximately equals to 1 in equation 3, but here is the derivative of that. Okay, so only metric tensor are approximated, their derivative is not approximated. So we are taking the value of only this, not of this. Now we take the second equation, that is for p equals to 2. So for p equals to 2, we have the equation d square x2 dt square is equals to 1 upon 2 c square. Substitute the value of p here 2. So g2q, g44 comma q. Again by the same reason, if we vary q from 1 to 3, 4, so q takes the value 2, because for q equals to 1, g21 is equals to 0, because for q equals to 1, g21 equals to 0. For q equals to 2, g22 is approximately equals to -1. g23 is approximately g23 is equals to 0, because for m not equals to n, this is equals to 0. So we have only 1 upon 2 c square g22 g44 comma 2, and this g22 is approximated to -2, therefore this g22 is approximated to -1, so we have minus half c square g44 comma 2, since by equation 3. So if we note the equation 3, we have the value of this is equals to this. Now similarly, d2x3 by dt square is equals to 1 upon 2 c square g3q g44 comma q. Again if we vary q, since q is here dummy suffix, so when we vary q from 1 to 3, 4, so q assumes the value 3, because of the same reason that gmn equals to 0 for m not equals to n. So this is equals to 1 upon 2 c square g33 g44 comma 3, and the value of g33, since g33 is approximated to -1, therefore it is minus half c square we write as g44 comma 3. So d2x cube upon dt cube is equals to this. Okay, so as we see here in this equation, that the first d2x1 by dt square is minus half c square g44 comma 1. So this term is as it is here, comma 1 is here in the second, that is for p equals to 3. P equals to 2, we have comma 2 is here, and for p equals to 3, we have comma 3. Now we find the value for p equals to 4. So for p equals to 4, we have the equation of geodesic as d2x4 upon dt square is equals to 1 upon 2 c square g4q into g44 comma q, which is equals to 1 upon 2 c square g44 comma 4. Since as again we vary q equals to 1 2 3 4, so 4 1 4 2 4 3 are 0, that is g41 g42 are 0, and we choose that only the value of q is equals to 4. Okay, so we have d2x4 by dt square equals to this, and g44 which is approximated to 1, so we have d2x4 upon dt square is equals to 1 upon 2 c square g44 comma 4, since g44 is approximately equals to 1. Now here, since as we know that x4 is equals to c into t, that is the fourth coordinate is equals to c into t, and therefore dx4 upon dt is equals to what? If we differentiate this with respect to dt, so the value of this differentiation is equals to c, because the derivative of t is 1. Now again, and c is our velocity of light, and which is constant. So if we differentiate again this, that is d2x4 by dt square, so this is c is constant, therefore their derivative is 0, and therefore the double derivative of x4 is equals to 0, that is second order derivative of x4 is equals to 0, and also gmn comma 4 is equals to 0, right? because of the static pair Gmn comma 4 is equals to 0. So here we have the G44 comma 4 equals to 0, and this is also equals to 0. So this equation gives us 0 equals to 0. So for p equals to 4, we have nothing, we have get here, that is we have no equation. So we have only 3 equation, that is for p equals to 1, 2 and 3, and we write that equation in the form. So this implies d2x alpha upon dt square is equals to minus 1 upon 2 c square G44 comma alpha, where alpha is equals to 1 comma 2 comma 3, because alpha is the Greek letter and we are assuming this alpha, that is Greek letter, is varying from 1 to 3, and therefore we write the equation, that is for the equation for p equals to 1, p equals to 2, p equals to 3 in this form. And as c is constant, half is constant, so we write this equation again in the form d2x alpha by dt square is equals to minus 1 upon 2 c square G44. We write this in the bracket because c square is constant, half is constant, so we write the whole bracket comma alpha, and we give this as equation number 7. As up till now we have the equation 6, so we give this as equation 7. And now the Newton's equation of motion for a particle of unit mass is. Now what is the equation of a motion for a particle? That is F equals to mass into acceleration, right? This is the Newton's equation of motion, and we write this F as a smaller letter m into a, and m into a is nothing but our d2, that is d square x by dt square. So if m is equals to 1, that is for unit mass, this equation reduces to F into d2x upon dt square. So writing this equation here as d square x bar upon dt square equals to f bar. So we are writing this equation in this form. There is a square which is equals to, now this f bar is nothing but our delta v, that is force is nothing but our potential. So we write this force in the form minus delta of v, where v is nothing but our gravitational potential by the Newton. So we can write this equation as, this is in the vector form, we write this in the coordinate, that is in the x alpha form, as d2x alpha upon dt square, which is equals to minus del v upon del x alpha, which is equals to minus v comma alpha. Now since as x bar, because x bar is nothing but our x1, x2, x3, that is in the 3 coordinate system, that is x, y, z, and delta is nothing but our del by del x, comma del by del y, comma del by del z, right? So del of v is here, so del of v is nothing but the bracket into v, so this is equals to del v upon del x, comma del v upon del y, comma del v upon del z. Okay, so this term is equals to this term, and from this term if we compare each term, that is if we take the derivative of x bar is nothing but the derivative of x1, x2, x3. So if we compare that, that is for alpha equals to, if we take this xyz as x1, x2, x3, then this is same as the del v upon del x1, comma del v upon del y x2, comma del v upon del x3, right? So this is same as this for x1, x2, x3, and thus we can write this as the partial derivative del v upon del x1 is nothing but v comma 1, that is derivative with respect to the first coordinate, So we write this as v comma alpha, where alpha equals to 1, 2, 3. So we are writing this d2x alpha upon dt square, that is with respect to each component, is equals to minus del v upon del x alpha, which is equals to minus v comma alpha, that is with this partial derivative with respect to x alpha. And therefore this is where we write where x bar is nothing but our x alpha, which is equals to x1 comma x2 comma x3, and which is same as x comma y comma z coordinate, and v is nothing but our gravitational potential, and this gravitational potential is our by the Newtonian. Okay, so we compare this above equation with the equation 7. Now see here in the equation 7, the left hand side is similar, that is d2x alpha by dt square is similar, and we have to compare only the right hand side. Okay, so we can compare the above equation, comparing above equation with equation 7, we get this right hand side, that is minus half, minus also get cancelled, so we get 1 upon 2 c square g44 whole bracket comma alpha is equals to v comma alpha. So here is the derivatives term. Okay, so we can cancel out derivative by integrating. So on integration we get 1 upon 2 c square g44 is equals to v plus constant of integration. Okay, so as the derivative is cancelled out with integration, so here is the bracket only, and again alpha is get cancelled out with integration, so we have v plus the constant of integration. Now we can write this as g44 equals to, so we can multiply here by 2 upon c square, so we have 2 twice v upon c square plus the constant. So if we multiply 2 upon c square to constant, the whole is again a constant, so we take this as 2v upon c square plus the constant. Now noting g44 equals to 1, as we approximate the value of g44 as 1, so what we have, so g44 equals to 1 when v is equals to 0, that is when gravitational potential equals to 0, we have the value of g44 equals to 1, and therefore we have 1 is equals to 0 plus constant, and thus this implies constant equals to 1, and we substitute the value of constant in this equation, so we have g44 is equals to twice v upon c square plus 1, and we write g44 equals to 1 plus twice v when c is equals to 1. Now this for c equals to 1. Now c equals to 1 means the velocity of light, the speed of velocity of light is equals to 1. But this is the case in some other unit, that is the unit that are taken here are different. That for example, we write 1 kilometer is equals to 1000 meter, right? So when we have the meter quantity, then we have the 1000, but when we write the kilometer, then it is here 1. Okay, so here c equals to 1 means some different units, for some different unit we have the velocity of light is equals to 1, and that unit are studied in the quantum mechanics, which is another branch of physics where it can be studied, and we in that branch we may assume that the value of the speed of light in some other unit is taken to be out equals to 1, and so this here we get the relation between G44 and V. So this is our required relation. So this is the required relation between G44 and V. So we end our lecture here, and in the next lecture we see the Einstein equation that compared with the Poisson equation. Thank you everyone.